have loss of face for the presidential candidate of the opposition, but more so, I really see this as a mess up on the part of the Trinamool Congress. We'll talk about that in just a bit from now. Mosmi, once again, going across to Ritik also for a quick update. Ritik is joining us from Mumbai, where the voting is underway. Ritik, if you can hear me, what are the updates that you can share with us right now?
Yes, all the big leaders from Maharashtra has casted their vote. As we know, CM Eknath Shinde and Deputy Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis has arrived and they have casted the vote. Till now, 64 of the MLAs in Maharashtra Assembly have casted their vote. And we can also see that the Shiv Sena MLAs from Uddhav faction has started arriving now. As we know, 14 of the Shiv Sena MLAs from Uddhav faction have gone to Supreme Court to demand the disqualification of the Shinde camp MLAs, and it is expected that the bench will hear the hearing today, and also on Wednesday the issue is coming on hearing. But we can also see that CM Eknath Shinde has claimed that more than 200 votes would be casted for NDA presidential candidate Droupadi Murmu. Obviously, we need to see from where these numbers are going to come, because Shiv Sena Uddhav faction has openly extended the support to the NDA candidate Droupadi Murmu, but the only two options which are left to secure the additional votes which are claimed by CM Eknath Shinde are from NCP and Congress. Now,
just come back to you for more on that. Be with us. I'm just coming back to you, Ritik, for an update on that. Going across to our National Affairs Editor, Rahul Srivastava, also for more on that story. Rahul, this is going to be a huge fillip to the BJP, given the manner in which all of this is played out. The unlikely supporters like the Shiv Sena have come on board. They managed really to get the JMM thinking. They managed to get the BJD, which always is a fence sitter, to come on board in this entire issue. And all of this on the beginning of the first day of the session of Parliament, the monsoon session of Parliament.
Sneha, this is an important session. This monsoon session is going to be a milestone as far as India's democratic history is concerned, because this time around the President and the Vice President of India are going to get elected. So every member of Parliament will have something to take home as far as the history of the country is concerned. The second very important fact is what you said, is the kind of political advantage the BJP will leverage through the presidential election. Why I say that one is the huge advantage of posting a tribal woman as the first president of India. There has never been such a case in the history, and that has actually galvanized the political forces and demographic forces in the country in a manner that one has not seen. The tribal population, 11 crore in the country, one of the most marginalized and of course not part of the mainstream as far as economy and society are concerned, but definitely if you saw those very small moves like people in Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh in tribal areas, outside their home posting the pictures of Droupadi Murmu, perhaps indicates that the BJP's message has sunk in deep and wide. Now, that's one advantage in terms of the messaging which has gone down. The second is the immediate criticality of it. The criticality that Gujarat goes to elections later this year, and there is that segment in Gujarat which has not favoring BJP in the last few elections. There was definitely a drift since Narendra Modi left Gujarat to settle down in Delhi, and that's one place where the direct impact of this move will be visible. The other important fact is the BJP has been able to expose the disarray in the opposition. See, for example, the Congress could not get its own candidate given that it wanted to maintain a high opposition unity index. So the Congress, just to ensure that the entire opposition gets united, backed the candidate put up by Trinamool Congress and the TRS. Now, eventually the race between the Congress and the other parties, regional players like Mamata Banerjee, has hotted up. Like the Mamata Banerjee, by pushing her own candidate and making Mr. Yashwant Sinha a common candidate, has perhaps trying to emerge as the principal opposition party. The other element is the further division, that despite having fielded a united candidate, the Shiv Sena, the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha, there are fissures in Madhya Pradesh in Congress where Congress tribal MLAs don't want to vote for Yashwant Sinha. So the BJP has been able to achieve a subdivision of the opposition, and that fragmentation is a political message that you have elections for Lok Sabha 2 years away and the opposition is an extremely divided house.